What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Brawl Project. My name's Sunnyvale, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Brawl deck revolving around the Gitrog monster. Now, this is not in Standard. It was added as one of the promos for the Brawlers Guild Hall about a month ago, I think. And this is definitely a sweet one. Let me read off the card. It's a 5-mana green-black commander. It's a 6/6. It has Death Touch. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Gitrog monster unless you sacrifice a land. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Whenever one or more of your land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. So, this has a lot of draw potential in the last line of text, where if you just have something that can put a land in the graveyard consistently, such as lands that sacrifice themselves, well, there's a lot of them, but most notably Evolving Wilds or Fabled Passage, you can get some cards for free, and that's really sweet. You also get to play an additional land per turn, and if you know me, that is a line of text that I am very excited about. It ends up being land neutral because you play an extra land per turn, but then you also have to sacrifice one. But looking at ways of breaking that parity is where we want to be, and we're going to be trying to do a bit of that today. Okay, so this deck it's really a mid-range deck. It kind of ramps. It doesn't play a lot of creatures, and it tries to get something big down early and then ride that to victory. It doesn't have huge swinging plays the way some decks do. It doesn't have counter spells. Of course, we're not playing blue, but we can ramp into a Planeswalker or something resembling a Planeswalker and try to ride that to victory. So let's go over the deck. We've got Planeswalkers, as I mentioned, Nissa, Liliana, Garruk, the three powerhouses in these colors. I was thinking about adding Ugin, but I just feel like Ugin doesn't bury people if you play Ugin early the way that these Planeswalkers do, and the way that Godfarrow's statue does. If you've watched some of my videos, you know that I really like this in ramp decks to really hinder the opponent. It's kind of like destroying 2 of their lands, which is a huge deal, or at least destroying 2 lands until this leaves play. Of course, if our plan is to play these things early, we gotta have ramp, so we have things like Beanstalk Giant, Omen of the Hunt, Arboreal Grazer, which isn't really ramp, but we'll talk more about the ramp philosophy, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, and Wolf Willow Haven. You'll notice that I don't really have mana rocks. I don't, aside from Arcane Signet, which is just so incredibly powerful that I can't not include it. I'm really want the focus to be on lands here, because with the Gitrog monster, if I can have more lands in play, like I can play lands more easily than I can play mana rocks in this deck. And this is really what the ramp in this deck revolves around, with Arboreal Grazer letting you play an additional land per turn. Dryad also, same thing, lets you play an additional land. And then cards like Nissa's Triumph and Nylea's Intervention, which let you search lands from your deck. They're a little cheaper. Like, this is a draw 2 for 2 mana, but only gets lands, which normally it can't have as much of an immediate impact as it can with cards with like Dryad or the Gitrog monster, where you get to play that second land immediately. So that's the philosophy behind ramping in this deck. Of course, we also have Circuitous Route. Nylea's Intervention is a nice one. I'll go over the mana base now. I usually save that for last, but this is a key part of the deck. As you can see, we're playing basically every non-basic land that we can. We have a lot of them that just say, sacrifice this, you may do something. That cycles with the Gitrog monster out, and, you know, something like Emergent Zone, even though it doesn't come up very often, could have, you know, spots that it's potentially good. Field of Ruin, Field of the Dead, we've just got a lot of lands with different names, so getting a zombie for playing lands, especially if we're playing 2 lands a turn, is very nice. Labyrinth, I really like this as a utility land. Lotus Field is a land that we can play after the Gitrog monster to draw a card immediately. Mobilize District. Yeah, so we've got a lot of non-basics, and Nylea tutors for any of them. This one doesn't just search for basic lands, it searches for non-basics as well. And then, to round it out, we've got a couple mid-range creatures. Shifting Ceratops and Questing Beast are to pressure down opposing Planeswalkers, and then we've got our removal package, E to Extinction, Price of Fame, Ritual of Soot, Murder Strider, Elspeth's Nightmare, some discard as well, because while we fare reasonably well against creatures, non-creatures can hurt us, and Thought Distortion adds to that. That's another card that I found is really good against blue decks. All right, one more thing I wanted to talk about with this deck is that the Gitrog monster is like, it's kind of limited. The best card you can have with it is Crucible of Worlds, and this is not a format where Crucible of Worlds is legal. That is legal in Historic, however, Historic Brawl, as are the cycling lands. So I'm really looking forward to trying to do something really sweet with the Gitrog in Historic, and that's going to happen when we have the Historic event, which is coming up. Shoot, I don't remember the day off the top of my head, but it's a Friday in April. So definitely be on the lookout for that, because we'll have a day with the Historic Brawl Queue. We had those 3 days last month. Yeah, last month. And it was a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to playing that. If you are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I put out a lot of Brawl stuff, and follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/sunnyvale, and join the Discord, where you can talk about Brawl and bounce ideas off of other people and see what you can do to, you know, improve your Brawl deck, or just talk about the format to other people. So all those are in the description. This is day 7 of making a YouTube video every day. I wanted to do a full week of it, and here we are at the end of it. I'm probably not going to do a YouTube video every day, but I've enjoyed doing this. I'm going to try to have one of these videos up at least a week, at least one per week. And on days that there's a special event going on, like in Ikoria, the Ikoria preview, or the Historic Brawl event, I'm going to try to get even more up on YouTube, and maybe even streaming on Twitch. All right, let's get into some games. One more thing. This deck is playing 30 lands, and if you know me, I love my high land count. So getting to play a deck that has 30 lands makes me super excited, and I've already played a few games with this deck, and I think it's a blast. Let's see how it does. All right, let's get into some games. All right, going first against Mu Yanling, and we have an answer to Mu Yanling. I think that's a crucial. Well, that's crucial against this commander. I don't want to play it immediately, but man, Shifting Ceratops also seems fantastic. The only card that could really deal with it is either an artifact creature to block or Meteor Golem. Oops, not good game. Hello. Alright, let's see. What do we got? Brazen Borrower. Don't think I care about that. Calaf. Mass Manipulation down the line, but they don't have very much going on here. Maybe the Hippocamp? Or maybe Netherkraken. This one has really impressed me. It's it does a lot more work than you might expect. Alright. Let's do this. They can't Brazen Borrower things if I don't give them targets for it, right? Alright. Well, we're going to need another land here. Good thing our deck is half lands. So, I expect to see the Hippocamp come down here. Oh, Yanling. Alright, that's fine. I think if they make a flyer, then I'm okay with it. What I'm worried about is if they go for the ultimate, because then they get to draw a ton of cards. Alright, let's draw a land that comes into play untapped. Oh. That is very unfortunate. This is something we're trying to avoid with this deck, having so many mana sources. I really don't want an Assassin's Trophy earlier than I have to. I think I just let this resolve. Terramander. Got it. This all gets swept up by Ritual of Soot. Okay, so they're making... Okay, so... some serious damage. I think... Okay, well, I'm gonna draw a card. If it's not something I can play... Well, that is something I can play. Alright, I'll just play Shifting Ceratops. So that'll take down Mu Yanling. Can't get Vigilance, right? Reach, Trample, or Haste. Unfortunately, the Assassin's Trophy is kind of awkward. So is the Ritual of Soot. But if we get an opportunity, we could land the Ritual of Soot, that sweeps up everything that my opponent has without killing my Shifting Ceratops. So they can attack with these two. For 5, bring us down to 19. Okay. Well, I really want a Black Source here. Well, that'll have to do. So I guess we're going to play this for 2. If they have a counterspell, that's really bad for us. I could use it to kill this, but we need the lands. So we're going to pay this for 2. Autopay. If this gets countered, we're in a lot of trouble. But if this gets countered, that also might mean that that clears the way for the Ritual of Soot, which is a big deal also. Okay, so I want Command Tower. I want untapped Black Sources. Command Tower does it. Actually, I can play a tapped land this turn, can't I? So let's get Jungle Hollow. That 1 life might actually matter. Maybe I should have gotten Temple, but I think we're pretty good as far as what our next play is going to be. We have Ritual of Soot plus Assassin's Trophy. Oh, wait. No, I did need to play it untapped. Shoot. That was... that was perhaps not so good. I did need to play it untapped because I needed the land up to block. Okay, well, you know. Alright, so Muyanling's going to the graveyard. They have a counterspell to back this up. We could be in trouble. We can also just Ritual of Soot it. Thought Distortion. Which it'll get rid of this Mass Manipulation. I think they also have Brazen Borrower that they can play, huh? Come on, just tap out for something. Nope. Alright. So, do I just fire off this Ritual of Soot? Their attacks are pretty bad. Or I could Thought Distortion. They attack for 9. I get these two. No. They get to play the Brazen Borrower if I Thought Distortion. Okay, well, I guess I have to go for it. It's pretty good if this works. It's pretty bad if it gets countered. I think I have myself to blame for this. I could have gotten an untapped... or I could have just played the Command Tower the past turn and gave reach to the Shifting Ceratops on defense. They can think about playing the Brazen Borrower. I think that's what's going on here. Because if they have a counterspell, they just fire it off immediately, right? There's no way you don't fire it off. Okay. Well, so much for that, I suppose. We do have Assassin's Trophy if they attack with both, or if they attack with everything. Then I can block Calaf. Oh wait, I can't play it. Yeah, I can't even play this Assassin's Trophy, so I just have to block a flyer. We're gonna take a lot. Well, like I said, I have myself to blame for this. I could have blocked last turn and been at a lot more life. Okay, I'm just gonna block here. Because that way I can Assassin's Trophy at the end of their turn, and then I'll have enough mana to Casualties of War and hold up the reach on Shifting Ceratops. Okay. This means I get to fire off the Assassin's Trophy now. Down to 8. I'm just gonna replay Collapse. Okay. So what happens if I Casualties of War? Okay, so it does cost extra. I was wondering about that. Alright. Well, let's kill something with Garrick then. Or is it better to just make stuff? So, if I just make stuff, they get to Brazen Borrower. And, oh, they get to Mass Manipulation. Okay, so I'm definitely killing something. It's just a flyer. I could be in trouble because if they Mass Manipulation Garrick, then they make 2 2/2s, which is actually kind of a pain for me.
Looks like you weren't fit to survive.
Drawing some cards here. I imagine they're just going to go Mass Manipulation Garrick, make some stuff. Then I can Casualties of War, but... Casualties of War doesn't cost more when you hit Garrick, though. Winged Words, okay. They must have an answer for Garrick. Or at least bounce it this turn. They're not making an attack, I assume, because they probably can't get past the Ceratops. I think this might be an opportunity for me to Thought Distortion. If I do get to make the 2 Wolves, I think that plus Thought Distortion puts me in a pretty reasonable spot. Oh man, if I was at like 5 more life, I would be much happier with my position here. But boy, I really blew it. Alright, what's it gonna be? Pass? Can't attack. I stand corrected. So what's the thought process behind this attack? Do they have another unsummon that they're going to use on Calaf? Or are they just going to play out enough creatures that I won't be able to block it? Between the wolves and the... between the wolves and the Ceratops. Alright. Well, I'll do this. I assume they have some counter magic, so this seems like the best play. Like, they just are leaving so much up. Maybe they're trying to activate Terramander here? Well, they're going to have to do it now, because that's also going to make Terramander... okay, that's fine. I'm going to do this and draw a few cards. Well, I get to take some of the cards away. I guess they could always have an Agent in Treachery. Okay. Dungeon Geists. Alright. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. If they draw counter magic into that, or after that, that's pretty bad for me. What else did I hit? Whirlwind Denial? Yeah, okay, that's probably what they were holding up. Sphinx? 4/4 flyer, okay. They can Dungeon Geist this to get a little bit in. Oh, they're leaving mana up. It's probably Berries and Borrower, if I were to guess. But, okay, so creature, enchantment, land. For Casualties of War.
Stay on the trail.
Can't not do it. Just jam. Land, enchantment, creature. Done. So, target creature. You, target enchantment, target land. I should probably hit the Field of Ruin, like... Or actually, if I hit the Field of Ruin, they're just going to fire it off. So, never mind. That was That was the right thing to do. Play the Brazen Borrower, draw a card. We still have the Shifting Ceratops to block, although we only have so many flyers. Do I attack? They tap one down, yeah. I mean, I can only block one flyer. Alright, one attacker. Here we go. So on the next turn, assuming they make some proactive play, which I think they're kind of forced into with me having a Planeswalker now, I think they have to play to the board, which means that I might be able to land Liliana, which, sacrificing 2 creatures lets me -3 to destroy a creature with Garruk. This seems like they just have a counterspell. Murmuring Mystic. Okay, well I can play 2 things this turn. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play the Gitrog and Underrealm Lich. Neither are the most exciting, but... Okay, let's make sure that we tap everything correctly. Let's, first activate Garruk. Okay, now let's tap this correctly. So tap, add mana. So here we're probably going to get countered. I mean, it doesn't matter that much. Okay. Back to command zone. And we'll play Underrealm Lich. So we still have the blocker up. The problem is that eventually they're going to get enough flyers that I can't beat through. I don't know. Liliana... it might be okay. Like, if we can resolve this Liliana minus, you get to draw 2 cards and kill something with Garruk, and then draw another card, that's pretty good. Huh. Just firing it off now? Oh, I'm at 5. Okay, well, I'm dead. Would have been good to be at a higher life total, so that... Just playing the wrong land in turn 5 or whatever, even though the game lasted, 6 more turns, ended up being the difference. Alright, well, I'm still happy about the deck. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, Ashiok Dreamrender with this hand. This looks good. I'll keep. So they're going to be milling us. I think that this ability might... I think it triggers the Gitrog. That's pretty sweet. Alright. We don't really have that much recursion, so exiling our graveyard is probably not going to be too bad for us. Sure, I'll keep Garruk on top. We're going to go Arcane Signet into draw 2 with Nylea's intervention. And then we'll play the Gitrog monster, and then we'll play our 6 drops. So I guess I want a black source here, as well as... Okay, so what 2 lands do I want here? I think I want 2 things that come into play untapped. Maybe it's as simple as, like, Castle plus Overgrown Tomb. Although something that can attack would be nice. Fabled Passage is also fantastic with the Gitrog. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Oh, shoot. Ashiok makes it so I can't search libraries. I need to keep that in mind. Okay, so not that. Alright, so I'll just go Overgrown Tomb and Castle. So they're probably just going to play Ashiok and mill us, and then mill us more. We're going to play Overgrown Tomb, Field of the Dead, or Overgrown Tomb, Gitrog, Field of the Dead. That, or I can eat to extinction the Ashiok. No, I think I want to get something down. Like, if they kill the Gitrog, I'll attack Ashiok. If they kill the Gitrog, I can probably line God Pharaoh statue, which will put me pretty far ahead as far as mana goes. Okay, so let's play this. Pay 2 life, the Gitrog, Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead also does a good job of pressuring Ashiok, which I'm pretty into. When you're playing with the Gitrog monster, it's usually a good idea to keep a stop on your upkeep, because otherwise it will just have you sacrifice your land. A lot of the time there's an instant that you can play, Eat to Extinction, for example. Or at least you want to have the option of playing something before... am I going to draw cards here? That would be sweet. Yes, I am. Well, they are trying to mill me. I think getting God Pharaoh's statue down with them only having this many lands, though, is pretty good. So I guess I get to draw again. I'm at 30 cards, which is not a ton, but we're in a pretty commanding spot as far as mana goes. Okay. Resolves. Sacrifice a land. Draw a card. Ooh. Well, that is making it so that I wish I had done something different. So I can play Elspeth's Nightmare and Eat to Extinction, although that's not the most exciting. Let's just start off by attacking Ashiok. I think they're going to just block. I probably just still want to play this God Pharaoh statue. Okay. 27 cards left. Hopefully that's enough. Swamp, Castle, God Pharaoh statue. Okay, and next turn we'll get to start making zombies off of the Field of the Dead. So this will make it difficult for them to play spells, and I think they still need to play spells in order to win this. I'm going to put a stop on my upkeep because I think there's a fair chance that I'm going to Eat to Extinction with the land that I sacrifice. Well, I mean, it depends if they play a creature or not. So I can mill 6 cards here. We're down to 21 cards in the library. And they get to play 1 land a turn, basically. I think we're fine, especially if we find an answer to Drowned Secrets. Deep of Sanity. Ooh. That is excellent, because that means that I can Elspeth's Nightmare. We're also drawing a ton of cards. But they won't be able to replay Ashiok, not under the God Pharaoh statue.
My dreams dissipate.
Right, so. Do I want to respond? Not really. So I can play Garrick, or I can play, like, Omen of the Hunt. But I can't... Omen of the Hunt doesn't do anything. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have this happen. Sacrifice a land. Draw 2 cards. That's actually a really good one, because that lets me get another zombie this turn. Go to the main phase. This is land number 6. So I haven't played a forest yet. This is land number 7 with this name, right? Okay, zombie, good. Arboreal Grazer. I didn't need that mana, right? No, I didn't. I can get Garrick down, but I think I just want Elspeth's Nightmare. It'll duress my opponent. Attack Ashiok. 17 cards left. Now I can... Oh, if I had played the Evolving Wilds, that might have been a good idea. I actually may not have had the opportunity to. Well, if I sequenced it in a way, there actually probably was a way for me to play Arboreal Grazer first and then this, but that's fine. We'll either Omen of Hunt or Eat to Extinction, depending on what we need to do. Probably, I would rather Omen, because that would get me a... That's fine. Because that would get me a creature, and then we can put them on a 2-turn clock, and I don't think they can mill 16 cards in 2 turns, especially not through a duress. Oops. Omen. Here we go. Well, they get to play the Ashiok on the next turn, but if Ashiok on its own is not going to be enough. Alright, well, we have to sacrifice something. I don't think I want to play this one. If you're playing against an Ashiok deck, don't play the Cavalier of Thorns. That's what they want. Alright, let's take that. We'll play Garrick. Make do. Wolves. I'm actually just gonna play this forest. I could play Evolving Wilds and get another zombie, but I think we have enough zombies. Or just creatures. And what I'm really concerned about is them somehow milling enough cards. I guess if they play a sweeper here, like Ritual of Soot, well, I mean, that kills a lot of stuff. I get an emblem. I don't think that emblem means a whole ton. Yeah, the instant speed creature would really matter if they played something like Ritual of Soot. Yeah, they'd be at 1. Alright, we got there. Our army of tokens. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Alright, Yurak the Desecrated, and we're going first? Man, I'm loving going first. Going first is cheat. We'll keep this for sure. So, hopefully we'll get to get Liliana down. I don't think we really have a great turn 3 unless we draw another ramp spell. And then on turn 4, I'm going to Nylea's Intervention for 2 things. For 2 lands. And hopefully that'll get us to Liliana, and they won't have enough fodder for when I play the Liliana. Hopefully. If they play something like a Burglar Rat here, it's actually kind of obnoxious. Okay, tap land. Tap land's actually fine. I'm gonna do this for 2. 1, 2. Oh, well, I mean, it's actually bad if they counter this. Okay. They usually don't, but it would be obnoxious in this case. Alright, so I'm just gonna get Field of the Dead plus Fabled Passage. Because we have a ton of different names in our lands here. And if I draw an untapped land, then I get to go untapped land into Fabled Passage. But if I don't draw an untapped land, oh, hey, there we go. Or I can hold on to the Fabled... I can hold on to the Fabled Passage, that's fine. Or I can just play Nissa this turn. Yeah, let's just do that. Nissa is OP. Generally, when you're playing against a Nissa, if you don't answer her immediately, the game's pretty much over. Okay, so this produces 5 mana. You got it. Agonizing Remorse. Take the Liliana. Makes sense. Well, I mean, I guess that means that even if we have a ton of mana, we can't necessarily use it. Alright, so do this. Play out a couple lands. Make sure that I can play Circuitous Route. I guess I want Fabled Passage now, just in case I hit something that I want to play. Thought Distortion. That's not a bad one. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that one. Okay, so let's just get a Forest. Yeah, we want Forest. So 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Submit this one. Attack with everything. Not the Grazer. I do care about the loyalty on Nissa. And then let's Thought Distortion them. Geese. Alright, well, they get to land, they do get to land Yarok, but we've got Nissa on 7. We're going to draw a card, which is not worth an insane amount, but, you know, we can more stuff to do with our mana, because right now we don't really have anything we can really do. So they have the card they drew in Gitrog. I wonder if they have a 6-drop, considering... No, they're just playing Gitrog. Okay. Oh, right. But, no, still, I feel like this is a good opportunity for them to play the Jungle Hollow. Alright, they get to draw 2 cards. That's pretty powerful. Kind of missing the Nissa right now, not gonna lie. Yeah, we'll sacrifice this land. Do I still have my Guild Gate? I do. Okay, that's exciting. Ooh, and an Evolving Wilds. Alright, so let's do this. Let's get the lands with other names that I don't have yet. I have a swamp on the battlefield, right? Yeah, okay. So, but that swamp might be going away. We'll just get more mana. Like, the forest has inherent value with Nissa. So we'll play this. Zombie. We're gonna make a lot of zombies here. And we're gonna draw a card. Duress. Not a bad one. See if I can play. I can definitely play it here. Alright, so we'll play this. Search for a basic land. We'll get a swamp. And that'll let us duress our opponent. They have a sweeper. Yeah, okay. There we go! We played so many lands, it felt so good. I love it when I play lands and tap them for mana. Just, it's such a satisfying feeling. Wow, we get to go first again. This is very lucky. Well, I'm going to keep this. It's not the most insane hand, but we get to draw 2 with Nissa's Triumph on turn 3, and then ramp on turn 4. And then, sorry, on turn 2 we get to draw 2, and on turn 3 we get to ramp. Razor is very good. So we're against Kiora? Okay, well, the good thing about Vraska is that she can just kill Kiora, although my opponent gets to play, assuming they have an untapped land, they're going to get to play Kiora, and then be able to cast something after that. Unless they play a Mana Dork here for some reason. Oh, is this a Wolfwillow Haven? Wow, okay, this is powerful plays. Oh, okay. Well, we get to kill that with Elspeth's Nightmare, so we do get to slow them down a little bit. I want to play cards with different names here if I can. So let's get rid of that Caryatid while we can. And I guess they get to play Kiora, and they do have a lot of mana, but you know, they only get to play something that costs 4, and then I get to use Vraska to take down Kiora. So it could be worse. Unless this is a counterspell. Well, if it is, I'm going to see it coming. Oh, they've got Nightpack Ambusher. It's pretty good. And with another name. They don't have an answer for the Gitrog monster, though, which is nice. Alright, well, I'm just going to get rid of this Kiora. And Elspeth's Nightmare exiling the graveyard's pretty good. I guess they're probably not going to play Uro into it. In fact, what's their line of play going to be? They're probably just going to pass the turn in order to get the creature off the Nightpack Ambusher. It's really bad for me if they have a counterspell for the Gitrog monster. But judging by the composition of the rest of their deck, it doesn't look like they're playing that many counterspells. I see a lot of creatures here. Just play Uro. What's the worst that can happen? Whoa, what? You saw it here first. Play the Gitrog monster and get free wins, I guess? Alright, let's go on to another one. Alright, we're against Torbran of Thane of Redfell, but we're going first, again, somehow. Which I am very happy about. I'll keep this. Death Sprout's a really nice one in this deck. Especially in this matchup, because it can answer Torbran. And I think Elspeth's Nightmare generally is going to pick something off from the Torbran deck. We're going to take a lot of damage early on, and we don't really have great ways of gaining life. Assassin's Trophy, probably not going to play that one, unless I absolutely have to. Well, I mean, maybe it's worth it. They play a 2-drop that I really care about and can't answer with Elspeth's Nightmare. Yeah, maybe I do need 2 Assassin's Trophy. No? Alright, well, I'm happy about that. Oh, that was just damage. No 2-drop? Okay. Definitely happy about no 2-drop. Alright, so we're going to target this Fervent Champion. Then we get to dress them after, which is nice. I wish I could Assassin's Trophy my own cards, because I'm going to need the land. Bone Crusher. You got it. Alright, probably just following it up with Bun Crusher Giant, or unless they have an Anax, which is probably a little better. Slaying Fire. Wow, just going straight to the dome. That must be the only card that can get hit. Oh, light up. Wow, their hand is that's not the best hand I've seen. So they're gonna play a creature presumably, and then I'm gonna play Death Sprout and ramp. Yep. Wow, this was extremely fortunate. Today is just like all turning up very favorable for me. Well, I think I'm playing Underrealm Lich here. I don't want to play the Gitrog monster while I don't have another land because it's just going to set me back. And yeah, this is the only other card that I can play. I guess I could hold up 8 to Extinction, which is fine. I'm just trying. Well, I'll pay for life. Down to 13. Yeah, that's not the greatest, but I think paying for life to have this on the table is pretty good here. Alright, so let's find a land that comes into play untapped. Yeah, Loftwing does it. You know what's really sweet? If you have the Underrealm Lich and Gitrog monster in play, when you would draw a card, you could end up drawing a ton of cards, because if, you know, you mill a land during this spell specifically, yeah, that's what I thought. Creature. I'll take another land, especially one that gains life.
Looks like you're not fit to survive.
And I'll just hold up, just in case there's something with haste. We're at 13. When we do end up dealing damage, it's going to come in bunches. It's fine. My turn. Fresca doesn't really do it. I'll just take a generic land here. Play it slow. Have the Assassin's Trophy up. Alright, wow. Well, it's a really good thing that our opponent had 3 lands when we duress them. Also, it's a really good thing that we've been going first on like every game. Alright, let's go to another. Right against Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, and finally we're not going first. Well, I'm definitely keeping this one. E to Extinction's a nice one. A Burial Grazer is what we want in the opener. If we can get 5 lands and play the Gitrog, then Lotus Field, then we get to draw a land immediately. Hopefully we draw a tap land so that we can put into play with our Boreal Grazer. Looks like our opponent has a similar idea here. Although I don't love Gilded Goose out of that deck. It's fine, but I don't know. It just like, if you play Uro on turn 2 with it, you're not really getting that far with it. 3/4. The thing is, I have something that I want to play on 4. I don't have anything I want to play here. I'm just going to play Lotus Field and sacrifice these 2. No value, unfortunately, but I think it's the right thing to do here. One weird thing with Lotus Field is that it can be difficult to cast cards like Casualties of War with it. So it can be kind of tricky. Hopefully my opponent just plays a Mana Dork here. We get to hit with Ritual of Soot. Uro's not a Mana Dork. We're going to start playing big stuff. Maybe I just Ritual of Soot to get rid of the Gilded Goose? That might be where we're at. Also, if I hit 5 and don't have additional lands in hand, the Gitrog monster doesn't really do anything. Maybe I did need to save that Lotus Field. Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, let's ramp. Let's get a forest here. This is pretty nice because no matter what they play, basically, I'll be able to hit it with Casualties of War as well as the Gilded Goose. Well, not if it's a creature. But this is setting me up for... Oh, no. This was what I was talking about. Like, it can be really awkward to play Casualties of War with Lotus Field. I guess I could have gotten a second Swamp in order to prevent this. Yeah. That's an oopsie. They just put Uro in the graveyard right away? Okay. They're holding up 6 mana? They're going to the second? Okay, what's going on here? Well, I can try to play the Gitrog monster. I bet it would just be countered. Seems fairly likely. I can go to their upkeep and just eat to extinction the Gilded Goose. I actually don't hate that. Well, how bad is it if the Gitrog gets countered? It's actually not that bad. I'll just do this. If they want to counter this, that's fine. I'll let them play Agent of Treachery or whatever and then Casualty of War it. Oh, they're just going to draw 2. That's also fine. No, they are going to Disdainful Stroke. Okay. Like, yeah, I just can't take advantage of the Gitrog monster right here. I'd be sacrificing a land to draw a card every turn, and that's not necessarily a good thing at this stage of the game. So it'll come back down later in the game and have a real impact. They have 4 cards in the graveyard. Also don't really want to fuel that if I can avoid it. I'm just passing here. Ritual of Soot also does take down Uro. Alright, well, got nothing better to do unless you count playing Beanstalk Giant as being a better thing to do. This does have some equity with the Field of Ruin in play, but not a whole ton. It also attacks for 6, but Beanstalk Giant basically does that also. Yeah, I just don't think that I'm gaining a ton off of playing the Gitrog monster yet, so I'll just play Beanstalk Giant and just start attacking. They're going to Chemister's Insight here. That's my guess. I still can't play this Casualties of War. I guess I can Field of Ruin. Yeah, next turn I'll be able to go Field of Ruin if my opponent has a non-basic, which they don't right now. But theoretically, Field of Ruin into Casualties of War does work. Oh. They really want the mana for something. That is fine, I think. Pure Best the Sea God. Alright. Yes, they played a non-basic! I needed that. Well, okay, the Arcane Signet does that too, and I think I'd rather play the Arcane Signet. So let's tap correctly for this, shall we? Tap this and this, Arcane Signet. And then we'll Casualties of War. Land, enchantment, creature, but not artifact. So creature will hit the Gilded Goose. Land will hit a basic land. And the enchantment is, of course, the Kiara. That's the Sea God. No attacks. We've got the Ritual of Soot to clean up the Kraken. And if they play Uro here, which they can, it cleans that up as well. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Which means if we draw another land, we can play Gitrog Monster and immediately hit this with not Blast Zone, Field of Ruin. Beanstalk Giant works kind of oddly with Lotus Field, unfortunately, but size isn't really the most important thing. Shoot. So this is Screaming Counterspell. Or, you know what, they could just be trying to play Chemister's Insight, and Ritual of Soot prevents them from doing that either way. So let's go ahead and just fire this off. Shall we? We've only played one Counterspell. We do have Sinister Sabotage. Okay, fine. So now the plan is to eat to extinction something. I'm not very confident that this is going to work because I guess if they play Uro, I can eat to extinction Uro. I probably have to. And then I think I have to just start making an army with Liliana and hope that they don't really have very good ways of breaking through it and attacking down Liliana. But I mean, this is a blue deck. It's probably playing... Oh, okay, this is fine. So it's going to fight my Beanstalk Giant. I'd say a blowout, but it's not really a blowout. It is value, but I wouldn't say it's a blowout. Well, I can play this and Liliana next turn. I'll keep it on the library. Worst comes to worst, I can get rid of their Uro. Well, it's not spectacular. I think I'm trying to hit something like a Mass Manipulation or an Agent of Treachery with this. I think that's the best case scenario. And then we're going to start ticking Liliana up. If we can get up to the ultimate, I think we can win. That's going to take a few turns, obviously. Not blocking. We can try racing back. Well, first thing we'll do is Agonizing Remorse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got enough to do this then. Liliana. Finale of Devastation and Meteor Golem. Lovely. Okay, let's see. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can get a 6-drop. I think I'd rather have them have a Finale of Devastation than a Meteor Golem into my... Although... I'm gonna Bust Sacrifice. That's pretty bad. This has to be a green creature, right? No, it's just any creature card. So if they draw land, I'm in a lot of trouble. Alright, well, in that case, I'll take the Finale of Devastation, because I think that translates to... Okay, so I think that translates to something I'm not happy about. I'm going to attack with Beanstalk Giant and see if they block. If they block, it's amazing for me. Oh, please block. Please, 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 please. Darn it. The other thing I could do is I could just play the Gitrog monster here. I think that's better than Liliana minus. Alright, fine. Because then they play Meteor Golem, and then I can start plussing Liliana, which is actually something I'm more interested in doing. So they're just going to kill the Gitrog monster with Meteor Golem here, most likely. If they attack, I probably just trade. But then they blow up the Beanstalk Giant. I guess I don't trade. Okay, yeah, this is expected lines of play. That's good. Go back to the command zone. We'll be able to play that one more time without needing an additional land. We'll take 8 here. Well, we'll take 9 here, I suppose. But we'll get our Liliana down and start picking up. I could also just play this and play the Evolving Wilds to draw a card right now. Is that good? I actually kind of like that. But Liliana gets value every turn she's in play. I suppose I can play the Evolving Wilds and I don't have to crack it. It's unlikely that I need the mana. Okay, well. But mana efficiency, man. This is tough. Alright. Alright, this is an 8/8. Now it's going to trade with the Kraken. I have 2 cards that trade with the Kraken, which is good as far as not dying goes. Then I can play Liliana in, like, minus or something. I'm kind of surprised they haven't played Uro yet, but this might be the turn. Uro's a problem. He gets to draw a card. This is a blue deck we're talking about, so cards like Mass Manipulation or Agent of Treachery, we just really don't have any real answer for. Liliana minus just doesn't seem like it does a whole ton here, so I think I'm going to be doing Liliana plus. I have enough mana to do this Field of Ruin, right? I think so. The counter on the Ritual of Soot is the real big thing, because that let their Kraken survive, which is it dealt a lot of damage to us, and it's prevented us from playing Liliana as early as we'd like. Liliana is not great with them just having this stuff. The scrying doesn't make any sense because they're shuffling, right? I guess they're just broadcasting that they don't have a counterspell. Okay, so let's sacrifice this one. We've got 2 land drops this turn, which is kind of cool. Ooh, Underrealm Lich. Ooh, we could draw a lot of cards. We could draw a lot of cards right now. Okay, how much mana do I have? 3, 6, 4, 5. Ooh, I have enough to do both, even. Okay, well, here we go. Play this. We're going to have to turn the corner real fast. And this is great, but I think I just need the Price of Tame here. So here we go. I get to draw another card. Duress? Man, if I could play Duress instead of Liliana, that might be the thing to do. Alright, well, we didn't get to go off, but it's fine, I guess. We could try... No... Yeah. I can also duress on their turn. Right? So I can sacrifice the Emergence Zone, and that'll draw us more cards, and then I can duress on their turn. So right now I'm sending with the Beanstalk Giant for sure, maybe the Gitrog monster. I'll hold old Gitrog back, I think. So I'll just attack 1. I actually do want them to start throwing Thibblethip away. They get to draw more cards with Uro, which is unfortunate, but there's not much we can do here. I guess we get to draw more. Price of Fame means that I get to draw even more cards. So we're going to draw a lot of cards. Can we tap Blast Zone? Thank you. Okay, so this is dying. We get to Surveil. If we hit a land, we can bin it and then draw more cards. We're going to run out of deck runway also at some point, but hopefully this game just doesn't last very long. So I can stop on their draw step and duress them with Emergence Zone and draw a bunch of cards. Well, okay, I guess I put one of them in graveyard. Elspeth's Nightmare. That does very little here. I'll take a land. Draw another card. Murderous Rider. Yeah, I think Questing Beast is good too. The question is whether we have something we can kill or not. I'll take the Murderous Rider. Okay. An end turn. Pass. Go ahead, draw your card. I'm going to stop you in order to Emergence Zone. I don't think I want the Cavalier here. Yeah, geez, Dryad, I guess. I might mill out on my own here without meaning to. I guess I can always sacrifice the Gitrog monster. Tails on. So they've got Hydrate Crisis, which is going to die to this Murderous Rider. Alright. I guess I also probably have a lot of my lands in play, so it might not be too bad. Okay, so they're going to draw a lot of cards. That Tail's End was going to be able to counter the Liliana, which is how I think I'm winning this. You get to draw 4 here. Jeez, I think I have to sacrifice the Gitrog. That makes me sad. Because I can't afford to go through my deck like this. Alright. You did your work, Gitrog. Here we are. It has come to this stage of the game where we have to sacrifice our beloved Gitrog monster. I guess this lets me scry, which is better than not being able to scry. Maybe I just needed the land. I probably just wanted the land. Yeah, I think that was a boo-boo. Alright, well, let's attack for 9 again. Resolves. I'm really sad that we haven't hit the Field of Dead this entire time. We've got Murderous Rider for okay, no, it's fine. For this Hydroid Crisis, and then we're going to play... I guess we could play Liliana and have both players sacrifice. That's not too bad. But then they still have the 8/8. I think I just have to go for the ultimate if I want any shot at winning this one.
Rise.
I don't know how I'm winning this. I guess if my opponent just has like a bunch of stuff in their hand that doesn't really have big impact, then maybe I've got a shot, but like a Mass Manipulation or an Agent of Treachery or something like that just totally cripples me here. Although I wouldn't mind them taking the Underrealm Lich. Like, this has served its purpose. I will block this. I only have 16 cards left, and I feel like I have a reasonable way of drawing them. Questing Beast, you got it. Maybe they can kill the Underrealm Lich also? It's a green deck. They can knock Liliana down, I suppose. I can just keep on playing the Gitrog monster to have a blocker. This also blocks my Beanstalk Giant. I don't have really a great way of breaking through situations like this. I suppose the Liliana ultimate is what my opportunity is. Remember when I bottomed the Nissa or binned the Nissa and it seemed like it might have been crazy? It's seeming like that was just what I had to do. So if I draw Garrick, I can play Garrick and start making an army. What else is good that I can potentially draw? I don't really have any X spells or anything that does a ton with the mana. I would have liked to hit Field of the Dead at some point, like a long time ago. I'd have an army with that. If they can't break through this, like, judging by the fact that they played Questing Beast, I'm guessing their hand is not spectacular. In which case, maybe this Liliana ultimate is going to get there. That would be sweet. They keep cracking or something. I feel like if their hand is truly bad, though, they can either use Chemister's Insight or Uro to improve the quality of it. Oh, there you go. Discarding a land. I'm gonna figure out what mana cost to set Blast Zone to. Whoa! That must have been just out of frustration, because we really did not have a good way of getting through the 8/8, not without Liliana, them only having 2 creatures and using Liliana's minus, or the Ritual of Soot, which they countered. We don't really have any recursion. Like, I couldn't. The only thing that gets stuff back from the graveyard, I think, is Cavalier of Thorns, and I already been that because we were just running out of runway. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Brawl Project. We did a lot of winning today. We also did a lot of going first. This is definitely a sweet one. 30 lands is just like everything that I want to be doing in Brawl, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I can't promise that I'll be doing a video every day for the foreseeable future, but stay tuned to my Twitch channel, because when the Ikoria preview hits, I'm going to just brawl all day, assuming that I'm still unemployed. And same thing with the historic brawl when that comes up. Thanks for watching. Like I said, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, like the video. All of that helps me out, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.